welcome to my channel. And in light of recent news with Shadow of the Erdtree being announced for Elden Ring, I decided I was going to simultaneously platinum a game, which I have never done in my entire life. You and I are going to do this together. But I'm also going to create this character to go through the DLC, to set up for and play through the DLC with. So it's a twofold here. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, here you have your character base, is what the game calls it. These are collectively known as starting classes here in Elden Ring. So when you press Y, you can see their stats here. You're looking at this like, what do all these mean? What are these? So these are your attributes, and you will be assigning them attribute points, and those are runes that you'll get throughout the game. They're how you level up. You get to a certain amount of runes, you can level up to the next level. So you have Vigor, Mind, Endurance, Strength, Dexterity, Intelligence, Faith, and Arcane. Every single starting class has it. Every single character will have some attributes. Now I am going to be creating this character through the DLC, and with that in mind, I'm going to choose a character that I know starts off with the best attributes or highest numbers in whichever attribute I like, so Strength or Dexterity for instance, to give me a head start. So you have your Vagabond. This is your stereotypical sword and board player. You have 15 Vigor, which is your health points. The higher the number, the more health you have for Vigor. Strength, Endurance, and Dexterity are evenly spread, 11, 13, 14. It's pretty good if you want to be a melee-based character, mainly one-handing swords and shields, or two-handing heavier weapons. You have the Warrior. Vigor is 11, and Endurance is at 11, Strength is 10, and Dexterity is 16. You might be saying, hey Buckwheat, what the hell is Dexterity? Well, Dexterity allows you to swing smaller weapons, and it allows you to swing fast weapons. So if you want to swing smaller weapons and faster weapons, this Warrior class with higher Dexterity is what to start with. Hero over here is not Dexterity. This is Strength. Strength is 16. Strength is exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to swing the big heavy bonk sticks. The big heavy weapons allows you to bonk bosses and everyone in the land between. Over here you have Bandit. High in Arcane and Dexterity. This is kind of an advanced starting class if you want to do bleed setups or have soul bleed classes or spells or weapon arts or Ashes of War. This is the kind of character you're going to want to be. I've never liked bleed in Elden Ring specifically because there aren't many weapons to use, so it's not as fun in my opinion. Astrologer, this is a good starting class if you want to be strictly a mage. How do I know that? Because Mind, you have third down from the top. Mind directly correlates to how much focus points you can use. Higher number of focus points, the more spells you can cast without drinking a blueberry flask, and I'll show you what that is. So if you want to be a mage, do Astrologer. Prophet is the other side of that mage coin. You have Faith. Faith uses incantations, and they use finger seals instead of staffs. So that's why Faith is 16 here, highest for Faith in the starter class. Strength, Dexterity even, 11, 10. Mind 14, which is pretty good, and Vigor is at 10. Samurai is good for a Dexterity Endurance mix. This is a really, really good option, and a lot of people choose this solely for the armor, and because you get an Uchigatana, which has innate bleed on it. That means there's the blood affinity comes with the weapon. It's a pretty fun starting class. And you get a bow and arrow too. Over here you have Prisoner. Prisoner is really good for starting if you want to be a battle mage or a spell sword, because you have an Estoc, which is a thrusting sword, and thrusting swords in Elden Ring are really, really powerful, both in PvP and offline. Very even stat spread, Endurance 11, Strength 11, Dexterity 11, and Intelligence at 14. Sorry, Dexterity 14 and Intelligence at 14. Very even based. I've done this character for PvP Spellblades, and it's absolutely perfect to start out with. Here's the Confessor. Confessor is pretty cool. It has some unique starting class drip, and fashioned exactly like the samurai. It's unique to its own class. Endurance 10, Strength 12, Dexterity 12, Faith at 14, Vigor is at 10, and Mind is at 13. And on the very right you have the Wretched, and it's a straight schmear across the entire stat spread board, 10 across. And that is it. So, with the DLC being announced, I've watched the trailer. I hope you have too. It's pretty freaking cool. I think there's going to be a re-emergence of Faith, Ashes of War, and Incantations. Another reason I'm going to do a Faith build for this playthrough is because I have not done a pure Faith build. And the third and final reason is because Faith, when you level Faith, you have access to Flame Art, which is fire, Holy Damage, which is incredible for PvP, and Lightning, which does incredible damage to bosses and anyone that is on water. So because of that, those three reasons, this is going to be a Faith run. Now the question is Confessor or Prophet. I'm going to do Confessor because he looks cool. Name: he is a holy man that has fallen from the graces of gold. Is Reverend Asmodeus. Body type, we'll do male. Age, we'll do aged. He's an old clergyman. Confessor, Keepsake. All of these are absolutely useless. They are all things you can get in-game. The only two that are worth a conversation are Golden Seed and Stone Sword Key. By the end of the game, you're going to have about 8 extra golden seeds, and when you restart the game, or when you go into another level, you get more golden seeds, but you max out at 14. So ultimately, golden seeds are useless because they're infinite. They take time to get, but they are infinite. Stone Sword Keys, on the other hand, you buy them from merchants, and you find them throughout the world, but there are a finite amount of Stone Sword Keys throughout the game. So with that, I'm going to choose Stone Sword Key. I have a favorite. I look like this in real life. Thank you very much. Alright, so we have Stone Sword Key, Keepsake, Origin Confessor. The mature Reverend Asmodeus. Let's go ahead and get started. So as a reminder, I'm going to be skipping all cutscenes. You can watch them on your own time. I want to keep this as quick, as informational, and as educational as possible. So you start and spawn in this chapel here. Come on over. Tarnished Wizened Finger. When you press start, you can come on down to inventory. And I'm playing this on Xbox, by the way. The controls are easily transferable from Xbox to PS. Not quite PC. So if you don't know what anything is in your inventory, you can press back or help, and you can do menu explanation or view controls. Menu explanation will show you what it is. And if you click A to use, it allows you to write a message. You have templates and you have words. You can't write each word specifically, but you can use templates. And you use the Wizened Finger to write these kinds of messages. Thanks, man. I'll applaud you. With that, let's open the door and begin our journey. Alright. Ah, it never gets old. One of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. So again, I have never platinumed a game in my life. I have never made a holy character in Elden Ring. And I want to get ready for the DLC. So you have Reverend Asmodeus here. That's right. So you start up at the top there, you come on down. Very straightforward at the beginning. Come on in here to this beautiful statue. You have fog walls there and there. And you gotta fight Greg the Grafted Scion. Hey Greg. Uh-oh. Ow. Greg, calm down. Great, we can talk about this. And just like that, I'm dead. I died. For those of you that are new to this game, I'm going to skip that cutscene there. For those of you that are new to this game, it is a design to die. You are supposed to die to receive your tears. So you have Crimson Tears and Cerulean Tears. Crimson are strawberry, Cerulean is blueberry. You'll see now they appear on the bottom left of your screen. This is the D-pad at the bottom left for Xbox. And you have down on the D-pad, rotates through your bottom, left side, right side, up. You scroll through up. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can read all those on your own time. They're nothing I'm going to show you anyway. So a little tip I'd like to show you. Instead of having your flasks at the bottom here that you have to press down on the D-pad to rotate through every time, what I like to do is I'll press start, and you see over here you have a pouch, and you have these symbols here. These are the D-pad symbols. So I like to have my strawberry on the left side and my blueberry on the right side. Strawberry is for health or vigor, looking at those attribute points. And blue, or your Cerulean Tears, are blueberry, and they directly correlate to your mind attribute point, and they increase your FP. Those are the top 3 bars in the top left 3 bars of my screen here. You have red, which is your health. When there's nothing there, you die. There's blue, which is your focus points. And when you run out of those, you can't use Ashes of War or cast spells or incantations. You have to do everything purely physical. And green is your endurance. And when you're fighting, your endurance activates and you lose endurance for every swing. All right. So let's go ahead and hop down into the tutorial cave here. We'll get to that later, that little object up there. Hop down on this ledge so you don't lose any health. And then you hop down over here. So it'll show you how to use your items. X is to use an item. And you left and right on D-pad to scroll through weapons. These are your sites of grace. They are essentially spawn points and points for you to reorganize your character. Weapons are weapons, Ashes of War, spells, incantations, that kind of stuff. So if you sort chest here, these are your weapons, armor, everything, key interest, items, arrows, bows, shields, everything you can think of that is a thing in this game, you can sort in your sort chest. Memorize spells here. I will show you later on how to get more spell slots. These are the only 2 I have on hand that the Confessor starts with, which is Urgent Heal, which heals you, and Assassin's Approach, which essentially is a stealth approach. I don't really use it because sneaking and coming up behind enemies is pretty effective in Elden Ring already. Flasks allows you to change from strawberry to blueberry, vigor to mind. You can increase, and increasing is done via Sacred Tear. We don't have any. Sacred Tears are those golden seeds. Sacred Tears are their own individual item. And you add charges to flasks, which essentially makes them more effective via golden seeds. And I'll show you what those are later on. Alright. With Sites of Grace out of the way, let's go ahead and continue to the tutorial cave. Right thumbstick on Xbox is to lock on and reset camera here. A quick notion I want to show you is if you are playing the game without being in menu, you hold Y, and you have your pouches that I was showing you earlier. See on the bottom left of my screen there? Those are accessed by holding Y, and over here on the top right is from my pouch. So you see left on the D-pad is healing or strawberry, right on the D-pad is blueberry or FP. So if I hold Y, I can see those. Now let's click on the right thumbstick. You have right bumper is light attack, heavy is right trigger. Cool. Sorceries and incantations. Those are done. So if I press start, go to my equipment, you can see that I have a finger seal in my left hand. You have your right hand, and you have your left hand. You have your armor, your talisman. You can have up to 4 talismans, and you get them mid to late game. And then you have 10 equipment slots that you access by scrolling down on the D-pad. I have nothing, which is why that is doing that. So, incantations. Currently I have the shield in my left hand. I'll press left on the D-pad, and now I can see that my finger seal is in my hand, the little yellow glow. Also, the incantations on the top light up, which means I can use them. I need you to whack me, buddy. Come on. Uh-oh. Alright. So I took a hit. When I roll away, you see the endurance bar disappear or go down in the top left. And you see my red bar went down after I took that hit. So if I press up on the D-pad to go to urgent heal, the finger seal is in my left hand, and I press the left bumper, I heal. Now you see, essentially I traded blue bar for the red bar. Let's go kill him. Yeah. Ah. Oh yeah. What's up? What's up, bro? So I pressed left on the D-pad, went back to my shield. If you hold left bumper with your shield up in your left hand, you can guard. If you can actually hit me. Come on. Hold left bumper. Woo! Just blocked an attack. Nice. That's how you guard. You have to have a shield in your left or right hand. Left bumper to hold it. And if you tap it, you can jiggle. Always gotta jiggle. Dodging is any direction plus B. Come on, buddy. And for those of you that don't know, you have what's called iframes, which are invincibility frames, which means no matter what's going on, I'm not dodging at all. Come on. You see, he should have hit me, but I was rolling. So you roll through attacks because you cannot get hit. No matter where you are and where their weapon is, if you're rolling, see? Should have hit me. If you're rolling, you don't technically get hit. It can take a little time getting used to. A is to jump up. So B in any direction. And then if you're not moving, or you take your hand off the left thumbstick and you press B, you backstep. Acquiring materials and crafting materials is something that is new to Elden Ring, or new to the Dark Souls franchise, being implemented in Elden Ring. And I'll show you what you need to craft throughout this game, how to effectively use those materials, and why you need them. Everything will be explained later. Everything will be explained. Alright, so holding on the Xbox again, holding Y and then pressing left bumper or right bumper allows you to to two-hand a weapon. Excuse me, sir, I'm trying to do a tutorial here. Oh. Alright. So, pardon the interruption. If you hold Y and you press right bumper, you are now two-handing your right-handed weapon. Same thing for the shield. Hold Y, press left bumper, you are now two-handing a shield. And yes, you can attack with a shield. I do it all the time. Come on now, buddy. Come on now, buddy. Hey-ya! Excuse me. Just a nice little critical attack. It'll be explained. So right there, what happened is I broke his guard, which means when the green bar runs out or you have no more stamina and you're blocking, you get posture broken, which opens you up for a critical attack, which is what I just did to that poor soldier. So while you're locked on target, you see that little white dot there. If you press left, or if you move your right thumbstick left or right, you can switch between enemies just like that. Allow you to fight just like that. Hey, what's up, Jimbo? So skills. Left trigger is skills, and in this case, you'll see the skill side at the mid left of the screen here. It says parry, which means if I press the left trigger, I do a parry. So let's lock on to Jim Bob here. Wait, and parry. Oh, too soon. Let's try it again. Come on, Jim Bob. Smack me. Remember, we're going to press left trigger. I was too late. I waited too long. Just like that. It'll take some getting used to. You want to parry right as they hit your character. See? It takes some getting used to. Nope. We'll do one more. And now. Nope. Too early. Nope. Alright. Alright. We're gonna just move on here. So on Xbox, you click the left thumbstick to crouch, and this is the stealth I was talking about earlier in the starting class menu. If you crouch and you approach an enemy from behind, where they can't see you in their line of sight, and you press right bumper with a weapon, you do a backstab. Enemies that are bigger than you usually cannot backstab. Keep on moving through here. So stance breaking is what I was talking about earlier. Opens you up to do a critical attack, which is what that was. I stance broke him, and he did that kneel down animation, and I pressed the right bumper because I have a sword in my right hand, and I did a critical attack. Back here, really quick, is the Statue of America. They are essentially quick spawn points, and how you know they're active is if you press Y, you'll see in the top left, underneath the red, blue, and green bar, you'll see the little statue sign, effigy sign. That's how you know they're active. Traverse through the fog wall mist, which is a boss. What's up, Godric? So guard counters. When you are guarding with any weapon or anything that you can guard with, and you press right trigger after blocking, you do a guard counter. So let's do it with a sword. So I am two-handing my sword, see? And I'm blocking left bumper. He hits me. I hit right trigger, and I just guard counted him. And then I went ahead and pressed right bumper while up on him, up in his face, and did a critical attack. Again, that's right bumper because I have a sword in my right hand. If I had a sword in my left hand and I was two-handing it, it would be left bumper. Emotes, cool. You can assign emotes by pressing right and come down to gestures. We'll do X to remove, Y to switch and or add. Strength is the new one. And you have officially completed the tutorial cave. High fives all around. Hop on down. And let's go through these doors. Here's another side of grace. Let's go ahead and get that side of grace. Rest at it. So another quick tip while I have your attention here. Unlocking a side of grace does nothing. You have to rest at that side of grace to use it to fast travel to. So again, if you're running from something and you press Y to unlock the side of grace, which we just did, you have to press Y again and rest at it like this with this animation for it to be registered as a fast travel point. I learned that the hard way. I don't want you to learn that the hard way. Over here we have cooperative multiplayer. We'll be doing that throughout the game. You have the finger severer and the furled finger. Let's come on in here, the elevator. Down here we can use the stone sword key that we chose in the starting class keepsake menu, but we're not going to do that because that boss is actually a little powerful for our starting class. So we're going to come on in here. None of these doors are hidden doors. You just hit the elevator to come up. And you press start and go down to inventory, not status. You see the tarnished finger, the finger severer, and the tarnished Wyvern finger that you use to write messages. Again, if you don't know what anything is in any of these menus, you can press back. Or sorry, not back. You can press A on it, and it will give you a detailed description as to what it does. Creates a summon sign for cooperative multiplayer, sends another or oneself home. There's always a way to see what things are for in this game. So let's head on into the world. And here we are. Limgrave. First things first, let's run on down here and get this Site of Grace. Remember, you have to touch it and sit on it. Alrighty, everyone, I think that's going to conclude starting out in this game. Again, the whole purpose is to create this character for the DLC coming out June 21st. DLC is called Shadow of the Erd Tree. And to simultaneously platinum run this game. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, if you like it, hit the subscribe button and like it. Share with all your friends. And I hope to see you all for part 2.